Uh, then I want to play this because I was talking about the rebranding of Amanda Seales. This is what she rebranded from right here. Let me play this.
Have a whole 15-minute set on stage about this, about God bless you, Ma, about yo, I see you, Ma. You're supposed to be smiling. Women are expected to, the minute we leave the house, we are expected to be smiling and available for whatever men want to say to us. And don't get me wrong, hello is fine. Like, I'm from Grenada in the West Indies. If someone says hello and you don't say hello back, that is actually considered rude.
Why do people from other countries quantify their politeness through being from another country? In what world is it okay amongst any group of people if somebody speaks and you don't say anything, it's not considered rude? Why do you have to say because I'm from another country it's considered rude to not? No, that's normal. That's a civil society. I hate when they qualify the stuff they say because they're from another country. It's a smack in the face. People say, I wish she would just go away. But she went from a feminist talking head really to this pro-black anti-government person in the last couple of years. When I would say I'll give it the last 10 years or so. I'm pretty sure this is way older than this. Is when, like I said, the Spanish or white girl walked through the New York for a couple hours, got hit on and claimed it was harassment. And then these black feminists got behind these other feminists and saying that this should be dealt with societally, calling for retraining, I guess, of black of men. I'll say men, even though in the video they clearly targeted a certain area. And then when the white women wanted to criminalize it, then the black women had to back up off of it. Like, oh, we didn't want it to be criminalized. Like, well, what's your plan? What is your solution? There was no solution. So now the only solution is the one that they had, which is to criminalize dudes for talking to a woman in public. And then you wonder why I see a lot of women say that they don't get approached in public anymore. Well, the better part of the last 10, 15 years, you've been telling people through media that you don't want them to talk to you. You see it in gyms, people exposing dudes in their DMs, all type of stuff. And then when you get approached less, when you get hit on less, you wonder why, because you told society you don't like this. And not only have you told society you don't like it, the men who do it, you shame them publicly. So, yeah. Mark said the same as the McCulkin reality show where the Nigerian mother says she has manners class unlike black Americans. Exactly. Whenever they say, because I'm from some country, and they say something just common decency, something that's just common decency, it's a slap in the face to black Americans. I'm not like them. I'm from this small island with less than 1 million people. That's why I'm not rude. It's like, all right, bro. Speaking of rebranding, I want to show this one too. This dude right here, Conscious Lee. Pretty sure you've seen him on social media. He's this radical, left-leaning, progressive, feminist dude. Once again, another person who supposedly was who's an anti-establishment. But now he's making content with people who are in office. Mark Gordon said, this is the Chappelle joke about chivalry being dead because women killed it. Do you have that video? No, I don't have it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's coming full force. That was in what, 2001, 2002 when he said that? And look at it now. It's crazy. Let me play this.
And they love
Man,
Trump.
listen, on my mom, I got a lot of other things I want to say and ask, but I'm not going to do it on time. So just right here, just to wrap it up, there is a lot of people in my audience that have kind of lost faith in the Democratic Party uniquely, and they feel a little pessimistic what's going on right now. I know you fighting the fight and you're doing your thing. What would you tell my audience that's kind of losing support or losing hope in the Democratic Party uniquely? Because I feel like it's a lot going on.
I don't think they.
Now, keep in mind, this dude platform is built on being radical, anti-establishment, change. But yet he's trying to get her to convince his audience to believe in the Democratic Party. These are the people who try and make them whose platform get pushed to you as being a possible leader for you. And this is just insane. When is the last time we had a person who actually was respected as a leader who didn't push either side of the aisle when it comes to politics? That's how you know these people are put in front of you. They're not actually organic. Virginia says, have y'all noticed that the immigrants don't recognize themselves or other immigrants like them? and instead lay all the nonsense on American blacks. Look in the mirror. They not like us. Okay, it was 04. Probably was. Gina says an authentic American knows how to act American. Facts. Mark says, or could he be trying to get with her? Well, that's possible. It's an attractive woman. But he's married. He's married to the white chick, the Spanish or white chick, whatever she is, the Mexican. He's married, so I know they don't really mean that nowadays. People don't respect relationships and marriage at all. They do what the hell they want to do. Anyway.
I don't think we should ever put our faith in man, period. Whether we're talking about.
At least she's being calm and normal in this video. Would y'all agree with that?
A party or anything else. Like, that's the first flaw, right? So the thing is, though, you can say that you feel a way about the party, but if the party is made of people and you decide
no.
that you are not going to participate, then let me tell you, this party will continue to disappoint you. So I have my own fair share of disappointments. Please believe I have my own fights, but at the same time, I can never side with white supremacists, and I understand that there is no perfection that is walking on this earth, but I need to do my part to see where it is that I fit in.
Better of both, best of two evils. We sick of it. You get in front of this dude platform and say the same regurgitated nonsense we've been saying for the last 60 years almost. Like, enough. Enough. Craig said this said the same conscious Negro that was going in on the black community on behalf of the LGBT community during that pandemic. Yes. This is also the same Negro that was going in on black men when what's her name? The brick lady lied and said somebody said a black man hit her with a brick. Turned out, one, the dude wasn't black American, two, and another thing, the dude didn't hit her with a brick. She's a scammer. This is the same Negro that was going in on black men. Even after he found out that she lied, he was still defending her and going in on talking crazy about black men. But you know. Virginia says, yeah, in the video she has dropped her hood sister act. Keeper said, just wait, because here she go. Girl, shut the fuck up.
Best, and the best place for me is the Democratic Party. It doesn't mean that it's the perfect place, and that's what you have to decide. If you are okay with somebody consistently trampling on you and acting as if you are less than simply because of how God made you, which is to be wonderfully made, to be clear, what they fear is us and our greatness.
So what about negligence? What about a party that constantly promises your people something and doesn't do it? What about all the failed promises? What about that same party also looking down on you, thinking that you're not capable of excellence, so having a lower standard for you? Is that not the same? Is that not worse almost? Why not deal with the people who I know don't like me, but I know we can come to an agreement on this thing right here that can benefit my community? I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you appreciate my existence. Will you just allow me to move how I want to move? That's the point. Keeper says she's gonna start rhyming like she's on the Pope. Oh, she's gonna start doing the amens. Virginia says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't really black. Joe Biden. They voted for him too, man. Crazy.
And so I gotta side with the people that at least are like, all right, fine, you black and we okay with that. I can't.
Yeah, and that's the bigger problem. And I said this last week, and Honorable God tried to get on my ass about it, but this idea, and it ain't just women, this need to be accepted. This extremely low racial self-esteem that we have. Why do you care if these people like you? They have raped, robbed, murdered your people. Why do you care if they like you? Just allow me to build myself up to defend myself from you if you try me. Like, that should be enough.
I can't side with the people that are saying, let me defund the HBCU.
So, one side wants to defund the HBCU. But the other side give little tricklets of money to them. So one side don't want to give you nothing according to you, but the other side give you just enough to keep begging. One side give you enough to keep begging, but you're saying the other side don't want to give you no money. I saw, this was my own two eyes. I saw Trump say, you don't need to keep coming to the White House for this little bit of money here and sign it off. You don't need to keep coming here every year, take a picture with me to beg for this money. I'm just saying. But anyway, Q said, now she making shit up. You know she got to tell a few lies. Mark says that one party won't fight for us and the other party steals from us. Can't win either way. That was a talking point that we was making in the early 1900s. You had a lot of black people just saying, well, you got one party that's racist and you got the other party that don't say nothing about the other party being racist. So both parties are racist. What are we doing? It doesn't matter. Who cares if who cares? They prejudice race. We don't care. Just allow me to exist in my own way and defend myself from the crazy ones that's willing to try to do something to me. That's all you need. But anyway.
I can't side with the people that are saying, hey, if you get a free lunch in school, never mind, we're going to make sure that the kiddos are not going to be able to eat. I can't side with the people that are okay with increasing the Black wealth gap and making sure that it only increases. And so the only...
Well, neither one of them support reparations. So if you don't support that, do you really want to get rid of the racial wealth gap?
Well, we don't believe you. You need more people.
So you're speaking nonsense. We ain't trying to hear none of that.
People that are seeing more money in their pocket are the Elon Musk of the world, who gets $8 million a day, while at the same time telling people they get $6 a day to eat, that's too much, so we're going to take that away from you. And for those kids that are on Medicaid, where you're only getting $10 a day so that kids can be safe, we're going to take away maybe...
And look at this nigga on the back celebrating. Like, man, COINTELPRO, shout out. They won. CIA, they won. We got people. There was a time where if you truly were a leader and all the people who really was about that life got killed. All of them. All the Black men and women who were truly about that life for their people are dead. They were killed, smoked, shot. And now these people are in front of us trying to be leaders, and there's no threat on their lives. They're actually making more money than ever. Half of them are millionaires. What happens when the people that's supposed to be the voice for the working class Black Americans, the people who are supposedly the center, what happens when the people that are supposed to represent them are millionaires? They're content creators, they're influencers who are millionaires. What does that mean? I'm not saying a person who has a message and the education, ability to articulate and to build an infrastructure for an organization shouldn't be able to profit from it, but damn. What is going on when everybody that's supposed to speak for Black people got so much money that they clearly can't relate? They're not radical. They're not revolutionary. They're not. They're not at all. These people running around calling themselves communists and Marxists. They're not at all. They're just academic. They're the academic wealth class. That's all they are. They went to college, got a few degrees, found a way to hustle them degrees that wouldn't make them no money in the market. That's what happened. They turned influencer. Chris says, isn't she herself against reparations? I never heard her say that, but she might be. A great common sense question too. But yeah, anyway, I'm ranting against her at this point.
A combination of $16 a day for you, but hey, my homie Elon, you gonna keep getting your $8 million a day? Like, I can't
Why is Elon the center of this conversation? It shouldn't even be about Elon.
side with that nonsense.
At all.
So my point is this. If you're disappointed, then in my opinion, you're probably paying attention. But you have to decide what you are gonna do with it.
Well, yeah. Wisdom wise men is always going to be angry. When you know what's going on, you're going to be angry. So you're telling those angry people, hey, we know you're disappointed because you're paying attention. And if you're not disappointed because you're not paying attention, so you're admitting that there's a failure here.
That disappointment. You can continue to lose or you can decide to win. And the only way, in my opinion, that you can win is if you decide to be involved. And that means making this party exactly what it should be. But it can't be there without your voice.
But we can create another party with that same voice. Never even gave the option. Now I get it. She's a part of the Democratic Party. She wouldn't say that obviously, but the man behind you is supposed to be telling us to start our own party. Oh, it's a pack. Damn, something. Anyway, what we got here. Oh, more on him. And then we're going to move to something funny. One more, Mr. Conscious Lee. He did an interview recently with the Fateh. I'm not saying his name. I'm not going to try to say his name. The dude who ran for, hold on, let me see this. The Democratic Socialist, Omar, the legislator for Minnesota. I think he's Somalian, if I'm not mistaken. He did an interview with Conscious Lee, and he referred to Black Americans, the Omar dude, the legislator from Minnesota. He used ADOS in place of African American. So he's acknowledging this. And he didn't quite like this. So by the end of the interview, I'm not gonna play the whole interview, but at the end of the interview, he ended up just referring to Black Americans as African Americans, I guess, to make him feel more comfortable. Let me play this here.
I was a community outreach person in a nonpartisan way, talking to folks about not just local candidates, but maybe some of the things on their ballot, like local initiatives, and learning more from communities from like North Side Minneapolis, South Side Minneapolis, whether it's African immigrant, Latino, ADOS communities, all of the above, and just listening to people. And from that, just organizing, and kind of from there, pivoting to like issues-based organizing around education and substance use disorder and things like that. To a senator.
Okay, and doing these efforts, you only cared about Somali Americans, or you cared about all Black people? You know where I'm going with this.
No, absolutely. I know, caring about everyone, and I see it as having an umbrella where we're all Black. Under that is
seeing a Somalian publicly say they're Black is kind of crazy. The way they talk on social media, they be like, "We ain't no monkey. We are not sub-Saharan African. We are Arab." So it's funny hearing one of them say they Black.
ADOS, African immigrants, and then maybe people like me that are neither ADOS or African immigrant. And so
what is he? He's not Black American, but he's not a immigrant. But he's so what is he?
So working towards a goal of caring for communities that have been not only neglected for decades, but for generations, and reversing that generational systemic harm that has been put upon our communities.
Oh yeah, definitely. So when you see some of the dialogue that's going on the internet, that I think kind of perpetuates a lot of division, being a person in your position, especially in a community as diverse as Minneapolis, like what do you think is some of the more productive ways to have this conversation in a way that kind of causes that kind of brings us that umbrella for all people of African descent, for all Black people to be able to think about the ways in which our healthcare, the ways in which our labor, the ways in which our housing works?
Well, I would say that both as an organizer and learning more as a senator representing Southside Minneapolis, is that rather than fighting one another over the crumbs or what little has seemed to be dispersed to communities in the past, fighting for more and demanding more.
The same bull. Ever said confused? I don't know. Mark says he's Somali. That's my point. So is he saying right there he's not African, but he's saying he's Black? He said we're all Black, but we're under this umbrella. Then he said an African immigrant or ADOS, and people who like me who are neither. So he's saying he's not an African. People says, isn't he under investigation? I don't know. The only time I seen him viral was when the whites were mad at him for being a Somali and running for office in Minnesota. They was complaining about him being an immigrant. I didn't see an investigation. I wouldn't be surprised. We seen what his old girl going through, or what she went through, should I say? Dre said facts. They call usually call Negroes people Jairs and Abids. Yeah, slave. Don't that mean slave? People said fighting for his community. But yeah, you see, he try to slide that little diss in. People that just want to break these spore wars that exist. What about doing something productive? And then, all right, Negro. What it is. Now I gotta show this because somehow these videos pop up every week. Where it's somebody in a strange environment mimicking something that happens in Black America. Whether it be, I showed y'all the Germans doing gospel. That was kind of, hey, the Germans, was kind of singing. Then you had the Japanese doing step from HBCU culture or band. Now I showed you the Indian singing "I'm a Black nigga." It's always this weird. Somehow, what's considered to be a smaller part, what's supposed to be like subcultures of Black American culture, is just so prominent in other people's everyday pop culture. Keeper says, I'm pretty sure he's under investigation. He's no longer has the accreditation of the Democratic Party. Oh, really? Hold on. Let me just do this right quick. Hold on. Okay, hold on. It says Omar is an American politician and a member of the Minnesota Senate, okay, and a member of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. He represents District 62, which includes parts of the Southwest Minneapolis. And, Minneapolis DFL seeks to restore Omar's endorsement for mayor. Oh, somebody, they trying to separate from him a little bit. Now they want to appeal. They revoked his endorsement. Now they want to appeal that. So yeah, it's some scandal stuff tied to him, I guess. Hold on, let me see this. Yeah, he's part of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party. Yeah, I don't see anything about an investigation, at least in headlines yet. But it got to be something. Yeah, let me show this video though.